Hi everyone, this is my run on Kurasame's Lost Chapter, the Ice Reaper, and this strategy is going to be a no boss turn strategy and will be completed within turn 3. I will also be including more details and a timestamp in the video description as well, so do check it out. So what I did here at the start is I soft reset until Noctis goes first, so that I can immediately start off with him using his LD to provide everyone with the Warpstep buff. While the Warpstep buff is up, I then take one turn each with Terra and Young to apply their LD calls, which is Kurasame as well as Jack. This is actually quite important as both the LD calls combined significantly increases damage. And of course, I take the opportunity to also use Young's LD so that his follow-up kicks will be activated during Terra's burst mode. Luckily, right here I managed to fit in one more meltdown with Terra due to the high turn rate, but at this point the Lufenia orb is pretty low and all 3 members doesn't have any delay in their kit, so this is actually where I pop Terra's BT mode. With this amount of damage done, with the LD call debuffs up, as well as Young's follow-up kicks, you should be able to bring both bosses to 79% just with Terra's BT mode. The only thing to consider though with Terra is that her BT finisher is a strong but single target attack. So what this means is that you want to keep one Hornet at about 84% and then after that focus your other DPS on the other Hornet so that you can bring one Hornet down to 79% before using your BT finisher to bring the other one down to 79% health, thus removing Lufenia orbs from both Hornets. Okay, so phase 2 is pretty straightforward because at this point from 79% to 49% there will be no Lufenia orb in play, and the idea in this phase is to just utilize Noctis' remaining LD to provide everyone with Warpstep buff so that the turn count will not increase further and everyone can also turn manipulate themselves to prevent the bosses from getting another turn. So right here will be my second turn. Unfortunately, I can't avoid this because Terra has used up the Warpstep buff during her BT mode, and therefore I'm forced to take one extra turn with Terra here. But right here, while Warpstep is still up on both Noctis and Young, I take the opportunity to use Noctis' LD again to refresh Warpstep on everyone in the party. And essentially it's just repeating this again, so a cycle of attacks while Noctis refreshes his LD buff, and I just do this until the bosses are very close to 49%, at which point I will be swapping Noctis out for the Garland friend support. Alright, so one of the Hornets has hit phase 3, which is 49%. At this point, I immediately swap Noctis out for Garland and use Garland's BT finisher. This represents my third turn because obviously Garland himself isn't buffed with Warpstep. At this point, I am about to pop summon, but all I'm doing here is just taking one more turn with both Young and Terra so that I use up their remaining Warpstep buff before I pop summon mode. Okay, so Warpstep is out, so at this point I pop summon to prevent the turn count from getting any higher, and also of course to prevent the bosses from taking any action. During summon, I take as many turns as possible, but you do want to keep an eye out on Terra's final turn inside summon because that is where you want to start using her LB. The summon mode also allows me to use one of Garland's LD to delay the bosses and increase the Lufenia orb count by a little bit, which is actually quite crucial because it allows me just enough room to finish off the bosses after summon mode has ended. So this is Terra's final turn inside summon mode. At this point, this is exactly where I want to start her LD meteor spam, because if you use her LD outside of summon mode, it will increase the turn count by 1. So I started the LD chain right here to keep my turn count at 3. And really that's it to the end. The only unfortunate thing is I ran out of Kurasame's Ice Enchant on the party, so at this point on I'm not hitting for weakness damage any longer. But the good thing about Kurasame's LD call is that it still provides the HP damage bonus on both bosses, which contributes significantly to the damage that I'm doing here. And pretty much that's it. At this point I'm just using all 4 of Terra's LD and chaining it with Meteors. And I refresh the LD on her final free turn in her rotation so that I do not contribute to the turn count any further. The combination of Meteors and Young's kicks while under the influence of Garland's BT aura is enough to actually kill off both bosses before the Lufenia orb ticks down to 0. That's it. Hope this video has been helpful. And as always, if you enjoyed the content, do leave a like, comment or subscribe. It really helps a lot. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next Lufenia fight. Bye bye!